All right. Hello, everybody. Let me make sure my sound and everything is working well before we get into it. Yes, we are good. Everything is working well. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nate the Lawyer. How's everybody doing out there today? Let me circle back into the chat, see what's going on. My chat champions here. What's going on? Nate, no, don't be jacked by by what is it called? Murphysize like Nick? Late Nate. What do you mean? It's 11 o'clock. Really? 11:01? Okay. All right. I'll be more careful. I'll try to come ahead of time, right? I'll try to jump on before. Hello, hello, hello. We got so many people here. What's going on, guys? All right. So you see the title of this video. I wanted to do just a quick recap. Well, not a quick recap. This is probably going to take a little time. We're going to do a recap of what we saw this week. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The blind chick talk. The blind chick talks. Hey, Vincent. Hey, what's going on, Vincent? All right. What is this? Amber turd is the word. Yes. Here it is. Gillian said, "Glad you're late. I wasn't done with your U.S. Women's National Team video yet." Oh. Well, I'm glad. I hope you guys like it. It seems like that's going to be U.S. Women's National Team's fight for equal pay, and it was some amazing coverage. I think that story is probably done now, but it's we'll see. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for the kind words. Hey. Alan, I appreciate it. All right, so today, obviously, you guys know what we're talking about, right? This is going to be we'll do a Q&A, and we'll also going to look at some really interesting testimony about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Now, I'm going to say it to all the viewers who watch me, right? There are two things I think I have to explain before we get into this. First, hopefully my viewfinder will turn off. That's great. So there's two things I gotta explain. First, I am not pro Johnny, nor am I pro Amber. I'm just kind of pro truth, right? Whatever the truth is, that's what I want to hear. So in this video, we are going to look at the stairwell incident. It's known as the stairwell incident, and we're going to see inconsistencies in Johnny's testimony and in Amber's testimony, and then we're going to see who you believe. Now, obviously, there's going to be more inconsistencies on one side, but I want to be able to put to you guys the truth so we can try to see how the jury has to kind of figure things out, right? Because that's what it all depends on, right? Us who are watching it, our opinions really don't matter. It's really depends on the jury. So with that said, let's look at Virginia. Should we look at Virginia's model jury instructions? Let's look at the civil jury instructions. I'm not even going to pull this out right now, but I said, you know what? Let's look at it. Virginia jury instructions. All right, so here are civil jury instructions. I got to pull it up so you guys can see it. Now, if you guys have watched, I've done a video on this before, so this should be easy. Let me share this screen so you guys can see it too. Share screen, civil jury instructions. So for those of you who've never seen this, when you go to court, there's like a model jury instructions that the state has, and all the jury instructions that you have, you want to kind of develop the jury instructions for your case around these model jury instructions. So your jury instructions may take some things out, may leave some things in, but generally this is the model you're going to use in cases. So the jury instructions, this is for now here in these jury instructions, they have it for all different types of actions, from defamation to assault to whatever you're talking about. So here, let's look at the defamation instructions for the defamation per se. So M-A-T-I-O-N. So here are the jury instructions that are for defamation per se. Let me make sure. Is this the one or this the one? So this is I think we're looking at 37. Here it is, 3790. Now, I'm going to read this to you because it might be too small for you guys to read on the screen, but it says, this is instruction number 37 090. Finding instructions. This is for the jury. For use in a case involving a public figure plaintiff, which Johnny Depp is. Johnny Depp is a public figure plaintiff, where the court has determined the statements are defamatory per se. So these are the instructions that are going to be used in the Johnny Depp case. Johnny Depp's a public figure, and he's suing for defamation per se. So let's go through these elements. So this is what the jury is going to have to determine. Number one, did the defendant, Amber Heard, make the following statement? And the three statements we're talking about, and there's three statements we're going to be talking about. We're talking about did Johnny Depp, did he abuse? Essentially, did Johnny Depp abuse Amber Heard? And one statement, essentially, that Johnny Depp sexually assaulted Amber Heard. So those are the things that we are going to be looking at. Trio Monkey for $10 says, you're an awesome person. Thanks for bringing the facts. These years on YouTube, I'm happy to know. Yeah, excellent work and fantastic attitude. Always the road to 1 million subs is paved before you. Don't run out of gas. No, listen, Trio Monkey, I will not. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Meese. Thank you for the generous super chat. And thank you for the words of inclusion. I do this because I enjoy it, but I also like to help. So thank you so much. And thank you for the super chats. I really appreciate it. So let's look at this first statement. So did the defendant make those statements? I think this is a gimme, right? I don't think anybody's going to say Amber Heard didn't make those statements, right? So we're saying she made those statements, right? She wrote the op-ed. So I don't think number one, which I'm highlighting, I don't think number one is an issue. Number two, it was heard or seen by someone other than a plaintiff. Well, she published it in the Washington Post, right? It was an op-ed published in the Washington Post. If you were the jury, yes or no, that's going to be yes. She did publish it, right? She did. It was seen and heard by millions of people. Next, was it about the plaintiff? Now, here the op-ed didn't name anybody, but is it about Johnny Depp? I think we all kind of see it is. I think we all kind of know it is. I think they've proven it. But again, the jury's going to have to determine are the three statements about Johnny Depp or not. So again, the reason why I'm walking you through this is because these are the things that the jury are going to have to answer more or less in a yes or no fashion, yes or no. And if they answer one of these, Johnny Depp has to get yeses on each one of these that I'm reading. If he loses one, if it's no, like I said, was it about the plaintiff? If that's a no, he loses. So that's what we're talking about. So if we got 3 yeses right now, yes, and I believe 3 is a yes. Number 4, is it false? And this is where I think you're going to have the issue. Are the statements that Johnny Depp's an abuser, and is the statement that he sexually abused his wife false? Right? That's essentially what we're talking about here. That's where we're at. 1 second. So, with that being said, let me turn this on real quick so to be. YouTube just sent me the email. We're demonetized. I think it's because I was saying a whole bunch of stuff about, as soon as you say sexual assault, but you can't avoid saying sexual assault in this context of this trial. So it's demonetized, but it's all good. So we're focusing on, was the statement false? Now, I'm going to take this down because essentially what this case is, and let's just not kid ourselves about this, right? Let's not kid ourselves about this. This is a he said, she said, right? Johnny Depp is saying one thing, and Amber Heard on the other side is saying something else, right? It's what he said versus she said. He's saying, I didn't do any of this stuff. She's saying he did all this stuff. So we really, the only thing that we can do is kind of look at the testimony and kind of figure out who's telling the truth, right? There's no way we're going to sit here and just say, we believe Johnny Depp over Amber Heard, or we believe Amber Heard over Johnny Depp, right? They present evidence, and then we try to determine what evidence is going to make me either believe Johnny's claims more or Johnny claims less, or whether the statements are true or false. So so I want you guys to be in that mental framework of trying to determine. We're trying to determine who's telling the truth and who is not telling the truth. Who should we believe and who should we not believe? So with that said, let me introduce you to Amber Heard's sister. So her name is Rike. Not Rike. Her name is Whitney. Whitney. And she is Amber Heard's baby sister. Here she is right here. This is her picture. Now, Amber Heard's sister took the stand. And an interesting twist. Amber Heard's sister was called, and she was called to corroborate all of Amber's testimony about domestic abuse and things of nature that Johnny Depp allegedly did to her. And she was called also to paint Johnny Depp as an abuser. I've seen him abuse my sister. I've seen him punch her. I've seen her. This was the first party account to help Amber get to that next level, Thank you, Shining Armor, for the dollar super chat. I appreciate it. So this was trying to get Amber to that next level. So this was their witness. Now, if you guys watch me all this time, if you guys watch this channel and watch me all this time, I always say, I was saying the past couple of weeks that I don't believe Amber, and nor do I believe Johnny. But Johnny has put on his case, and all the evidence supported what he said, obviously, if it's his case. So this week, I was going into it saying, well, Amber's going to put on her case, and she's going to have some witnesses that support what she's saying. So here is, so her sister was a witness that said, hey, I was there, and I support exactly what she's saying. And you can trust what Amber is saying is true, right? Because here I am. Now, we're going to now look at an incident, and this is known as the stairwell incident. And the reason why this incident is important is because this is an incident where Amber Heard punched Johnny Depp in front of a whole bunch of witnesses. It's essentially, that's what we call it, the stairwell incident. Now, at the scene was Whitney, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Johnny's bodyguard, Travis McGivern, and Nurse Debbie Lloyd. Now, Nurse Debbie Lloyd did testify, but she said that she didn't testify. She didn't testify to the incident. What she did testify to is just her interactions as a nurse with Johnny Depp, but she did not testify to the actual incident. So we have 4 accounts of the incident. We have Johnny Depp's account, right, on the stand under oath. We have Travis McGivern's account on the stand under oath, and we have Amber Heard's account, and then we have Whitney's account, and then we have someone who Whitney has also told the story to before, who says she gives a different account. So with that said, let's go to just this one incident, and let's do this. Let's listen to the various accounts. So first, since Johnny Depp's team is up, let's hear Johnny Depp's recounting of the stairwell event, where he says his wife, Amber Heard, punched him in the face. Just give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Let me share the screen. Let me expand this so you guys can see it. And let me take down these quick super chats so I don't get too far behind. Trio Monkey, again, thank you for the awesome super chat. I really appreciate it. $10 from Brian says, Nate, this is a very oblique and helpful summary. It's a good compliment to Emily's play-by-play. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I like to dig into the lore a little deeper. I like to kind of really, really dig in there to try to pull out whatever I can. So this is me going in deep. Thank you for becoming a new member. Thank you. John says, thanks for everything you do, brother. Much love and respect. Thank you. Nick, $2. Yo, secret agent Nate. I wish. James Bond, right? Listen, guys, thank you guys for all the love with the super chats. So let me now get into this so we can start seeing what Johnny Depp said. So again, if we're going to do this, we all have to do this in a way that makes sense. So let's look at what Johnny Depp said, and I want you to really, really hone in on what he says, and if there's any differences between what he says and what his bodyguards say. Because remember, they're both testifying on the same side. So let's look at it and check it out.
Five area, which was where Ms. Heard had her office at the top of the stairs. And so the stairs came down, and then there was a landing, and then another set of stairs went down the opposite direction. Uh, and this took place on the landing, um, where she was coming out, trying to, uh, trying to get to me, trying to hit me, trying to do anything she could, and then Whitney, her sister, was there, who who stepped in the way. And interesting thing that was that was interesting was now is that Whitney stepped in front of Amber and was facing Amber to stop Amber, and when she was in between us, Amber snuck in she reached, got the roundhouse in, and just nailed me on the cheekbone.
Do you recall what Miss Heard was upset about at this time?
I do not. I really don't.
And was anyone else in the in Penthouse 5 with you and Whitney and Miss Heard?
By that time, Mr. McGivern had been called. I believe that actually Debbie, as I remember, Debbie Lloyd was at the front door of Penthouse 5, standing by the door. Mr. McGivern was kind of at the bottom of the last group of stairs. And then the thump happened, and I got myself out of there, out of the situation, and I walked down the stairs to Mr. McGivern just to say, let's get out of here, and I remember that something was thrown from up there. I don't recall what it was, but something was thrown at me. It seemed like it was like I don't know if it was a bag of like pens or but it was from her office area.
So, just so we're clear, so that's Johnny Depp's recollection of the infamous stairway incident where Amber gives him the punch, right? That's his recollection. And I think the key aspect here is he said Whitney was between them, but Whitney was trying to stop Amber, right? So Whitney's between them. He's trying to stop Amber. He named all of everybody who was there, right? He said Travis McGivern was there. He says Nurse Debbie was there. Amber and her sister and himself. So we're in the right situation. We're in the right time frame. We got all the right people there, and he gives his understanding of what happened. So now let's contrast that, right? Because again, we're trying to be as objective as possible and trying to figure out whose story is telling the truth, right? Now, also, just because stories misalign in minor ways doesn't mean that the people are lying, right? Because everyone has different perspectives, right? Everybody's looking at the story, looking at the issue from different perspectives. But so let's see if Johnny Depp's story is consistent with his security guard or with Travis McGinnon, the security guard that he called to the stand. So here is, let me pull up Travis's testimony. One second. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Let me share this so you guys can see it. So again, we're talking. This is Travis. This is Johnny Depp's bodyguard, who we just heard was at the scene. Who we just heard was who was there when all this happened, and we're going to compare what he says to what Johnny Depp says. Has just told us under oath. First, let me take down some of these super chats. All right. Bobby Cat says, "Good morning, Nate. Do you think they will bring in Jennifer to directly go against the claims of Whitney made? It's clear to me who is lying." Well, we haven't gotten to that, but we're about to get to that. We're about to get to that. I got the declaration here. We're gonna read it. We got it. Don't worry. We're almost there, Bobby. You're gonna be happy. You're gonna be happy you wrote that one. Thanks for the $5. Michelle says, in the op-ed itself, Amber Heard says domestic abuse, and in the title, it says sexual violence. What each side is focusing in on. One may be true, the other may be false. Yeah, but Johnny just needs, if you believe any one of them are false, any one of those statements, then Johnny can possibly win. So thank you, Michelle. That's true. I think, and personally, I think he's won on the sexual violence one. The domestic abuse one, I think, is a little iffy, but sexual violence, I think Johnny Depp is definitely one. I don't believe Amber when she says she was. Thank you for the $50 super chat. Corey Fisher says, "Love your channel. Keep living that all about the facts life, dude. You're the best." Commendation per se. Thank you. I appreciate it, Corey. This is $20, 20 euros. Says, "Love your clear explanations, Nate. Thank you. Have been catching up on your videos." Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Angela. Here is the heavy definition of malice. Her op-ed with malice. Can you go over that bit? Let me see. Ill will, bad intent, what fits. All right. Malice is not about ill intent. It's about what you know. So if you know something is false and say it anyway, that's malice. No matter how. So even if you do it for profit or whatever, malice is about your intent to say something that's false. So it's not about your motive for saying it. So what you're talking about is motive. And even the Supreme Court said malice may be a bad word for actual malice, but in terms of motive is good to show intent, right? To show that, this person was motivated because they wanted to make money. But actual malice is not about your motivation. It's about what you did. So if you make a statement that you just make up, you may not have wanted to hurt the person, right? You may have no ill will, but you would defame them, and it could be it would be considered actual malice because you made it up. So that's actual malice. The Supreme Court again has made much to do about it and said, "Hey, listen, this is ridiculous. For the fact that we say it, we call it actual malice, is confusing, but that's essentially what it is." So I hope that explanation helped. And again, thank you for the super chat. And we got one more super chat that just came in. I want to get Rocky's Depo. Your best guess on why she hedged on whether she took specific photos, trying to appear sincere or afraid of being caught in a lie. I think it could be a little bit of both, right? I think it could be a little bit of both, because here, if you're caught up in a lie, you're gonna be blasted all over the internet. So I think she's just going to it's done. Yeah, I know it's British pounds or not euros. Okay, British pounds. My bad. Yeah. All right. So let's get back into it. So now we're listening to the security. Now, this is a little low. I couldn't up it, so this is the highest we're going to get it. But we've heard Johnny Depp. So let's get back to what we're doing. We heard Johnny Depp's version of events. Now, this is Travis McGivern. He was at the scene, and he's now going to tell us. He's going to tell us what he saw. And we're trying to figure out. Remember, we're trying to figure out who's lying, who's telling the truth. Is he going to confirm what Johnny Depp just told us? Let's take a listen.
Miss Heard and her sister at that time, Whitney, had come in. They were both on the middle level, the office level. And I saw Miss Heard throw a Red Bull can from her position that struck Mr. Depp in the back.
Anything else that you recall?
At that point, I moved closer to Mr. Depp. I didn't care that I was in the middle of their conversation at that point. I didn't want my client getting hit with anything else. So I stood right by Mr. Depp. The verbal onslaught continued from both of them. Mr. Depp was giving as good as he got at that point. He was angry and agitated. At one point, Miss Heard threw something else, either a purse or some sort of bag or something that she had up there. I was able to knock it away so it didn't hit him. At one point, she spit at him.
Yeah, the volume is. This is just the volume for this
Yeah,
one.
and
It's
then it's
this one is
just
just
a lot of-
low. I'm sorry.
A lot of verbal.
The rest of them of the volume is good.
vitriol
This
from
volume is
both of
just
them.
low. Sorry, guys.
What do you remember Ms. Heard saying to Mr. Depp on this occasion?
Jeez. Anything and everything. Specifically, there was the "you're fucking washed up," "you're a fucking cunt," which he called her as well. You're, again, the deadbeat dad shit. Yeah, I don't even remember what the fight was about, but it was pretty. The F word is my favorite word, and it was being thrown around to the point where I was uncomfortable. So.
And how did Mr. Depp respond to Ms. Heard's behavior?
Oh, he was mad. He was upset, especially after she tried to spit on him. At one point, Miss Heard and her sister left Penthouse 5. I imagine they went into Penthouse 4 or possibly over to Penthouse 3. I don't know. They were all adjoining. Mr. Depp went upstairs and rearranged her closet for her. Threw down probably every rack of clothing and shoes. Threw at least one down the stairs. Yeah, he was upset.
Where was Ms. Heard when Mr. Depp rearranged her closet, as you said?
Can't say for sure, but she was not in Penthouse 5. She was either in 4 or 3.
And you mentioned Ms. Heard's sister, Whitney. Do you recall when she arrived in the evening?
So Whitney wasn't there when we first all walked into Penthouse 5. When Miss Lloyd and I stepped out to give them some space, she must have, excuse me, she must have come in at some point because she was in there when we walked back.
Did you see Ms. Heard again that evening after Mr. Depp was in her closet?
I did, yeah. She must have heard what was going on and not been too pleased. So she shortly after re-entered Penthouse 5 as I was trying to get Mr. Depp out of there.
And
Dude,
all of my classes in high school.
$11 a month.
Dropping out. I also
$11
scored in
a
the
month.
99th percentile
Yeah, I
on
got
the GMAT and got a master's.
I gotta go and skip the ad. But Joe
happened
Joe
at that
Neerman
point?
is here, so I want to say hello to my guest Joe. Sorry.
Hello, my New York brother.
Yes.
I assume you're a Yankee fan. Am I right about that?
I was. Hold on, your volume is a little high because because this volume for this testimony is so low. So just to catch you up, Joe, real quick. I'm not a Yankees fan, I'm a Met fan, but just to catch you up, we're listening to Travis McGivern giving his account of the stairway incident.
I recall.
So I'm just we're listening to his testimony and comparing to Johnny Depp. So let me throw his back on the screen so people can finish listening to it.
Okay.
Justice for Joe. Here it goes.
Mhm.
But if you can just mute until after his testimony, everything else is good. It's just that his testimony for some reason is low. Every channel has it low. So
So her and her sister both came back in. We were on the middle level, so her office level of Penthouse 5 at that point. She was agitated. Mr. Depp was agitated. I felt it was time to get Mr. Depp out of the situation, so I stepped in between Miss Heard and Mr. Depp, telling Mr. Depp that we were leaving and that it wasn't up to him anymore. At that point, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a fist and an arm come across my right shoulder, and I heard and saw a closed fist contact Mr. Depp in the left side of his face.
And whose fist was that?
That was Miss Heard's fist, Amber Heard's fist.
And where was Whitney when this occurred?
Can't say for sure, but I'm guessing, or my best guess is behind Amber.
How did Mr. Depp respond when he was punched?
The initial look on his face kind of mirrored mine, kind of a look of shock, like what just happened, where'd that come from? At that point, I wasn't going to let Mr. Depp get hit anymore, so I moved him down the last flight of stairs to the lower level, and told him we're leaving. It wasn't up to him anymore, just for his safety. I didn't.
So that is his account of the stairwell incident. Joe, what do you think? Is he a credible witness?
I didn't see anything there that didn't seem remarkably credible. I thought that, aside from once you get past the initial shock of, oh my God, I think this is ZZ Top, you sort of recognize that he seems to be a really genuine person. The only basis to question his credibility, from my mind, nothing in the content of the narrative that he told, but just his general position that he's a friend and employee of Johnny Depp, and the narrative that he's giving there supports the perspective that Johnny Depp would be looking to share with the world. So, but that doesn't mean so if you want to discount for the level of credibility to his story based on his position as a friend and an employee, and I'm not sure if is he still a current employee? I don't know if he's still a current employee.
I'm not sure if he's a current employee, but the issue is that we're listening, and maybe I should have explained it to you. So before you jumped in, and Natalie, welcome to the stream, Natalie. How you doing?
Hey,
before you guys jumped in, we had listened to Johnny Depp's account of the story, and his account of the stairwell incident, and so we have 4 people who've given testimony about the stairwell incident. So what you guys have missed the first 2 that we've got. So we got Johnny Depp's story, and then we did McGivern's story. Now their stories differ in a lot of ways. Yes. Now first, Johnny Depp. Now the chat may be upset, but we can just call it what we see it. Johnny Depp said that it was Whitney who was between both Amber and Johnny when the punch came.
It was Whitney who was between Johnny and Amber.
Correct.
Time that Amber was punching.
That Amber punched Johnny.
So Johnny says that she's basically punching over Whitney.
Yes, yeah, that she punched over Whitney.
That's what Whitney says too. Whitney
says
between them.
Well,
I
think we're
Travis McGivern, he said that it was him in between the 2. It wasn't Whitney. Whitney was behind. He said Whitney was behind Amber, and he was the one in between the 2 when Amber actually threw the punch. That's what we just heard.
According to Travis, basically the order is Johnny, Travis, Whitney, and Amber's all the way in the back.
And
how's she reaching? According
to Travis, it's Johnny, Travis, Amber, and Whitney's in the back.
Oh, okay.
According to Johnny, it's Johnny, Whitney, Amber, and Travis is behind Johnny. So all the same people are there. It's just they're all in different spots.
So they all kind of differ on where people are when the
correctly.
To be fair, this is a very fluid moment, and it probably depended on which moment in this little melee they're describing in order to get it. You know, if we were describing it, you know, as like a play-by-play, and Amber throws it right, Travis tries stepping in between, instead, you know, and they're all moving. They're all moving people and they're very excited in this moment. There's obviously a lot of emotion that's been rising up here, and it's very possible that at some moment in time, each of their versions had accuracy to it. The question is the key moments, like when the punch is coming. I do recall Travis testifying. I don't know if you got to this part yet. That afterwards, like Johnny actually was yelling at him. He like pointed to like his face and he's like, "This is your fault."
Yeah, you see that later. Yeah.
So,
we'll definitely get to that one. Get to that one. Right after. Yes, because he does say that. But
did you see that super chat?
What?
Court TV confirmed Jennifer Howell's deposition will be played in rebuttal.
Yeah, but we assumed that was going to happen. Yeah.
Like, I remember I was like so cautious about that because it's just so good for Depp. You know, it's like overwhelming evidence that is like, you know, as a litigator, you just hope for something that delicious in your case.
Oh yeah,
Natalie,
that's game over.
But we're gonna read it. We're gonna read what she's gonna say too, because we have her declaration, but we're gonna read it. We're about to read it live on stream. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say Natalie's expressiveness is just a thing of wonder. I so enjoy it. Like your instant reaction is so natural and just like lighting up the screen that it's a really beautiful thing to say.
Thank you, Joe. My husband would allow me to play poker because or be next to him when he's playing at the casino. I can't like sit next to him. I'm like, oh my god, that's a really good dance.
Like, yes, baby, go all in. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't about to say that out loud. Nate Dog, can I get some legal advice? No, unless you live in New York and we got to get a retainer agreement. But you know, I'm not doing that right now. So yeah, sorry, that ain't happening. $5 from Mark.
Well, he gave you $1.99.
That's true. That's true.
Are you on retainer already?
Does auto import of the title in SV tweet of link have to be clearly convincing, proven by recklessly knowing by Amber Heard, since she didn't write the headline? No. If all right, though it's called the repeater rule. So if I repeat a defamatory statement to other people, I can get sued for defamation. It's literally called the repeater rule. So in this case, they're saying Amber Heard wrote the piece. The Washington Post then made a defamatory statement, sexual abuse, and then Amber then republished that defamatory statement. So Johnny Depp is saying, by republishing that defamatory statement, you've adopted it, and I can sue you for defamation. So that's kind of how it works. And with actual malice, it's saying that Amber knew the statement about the sexual violence was false and said it anyway. So that's the actual malice piece to it. I know it's a little confusing, but that's kind of the way it's working out in this trial. Jonas says, irrespective of the jury's verdict, Amber will never work in show business again. Her testimony in the witness box was the final performance of her career. She could have been the next Julia Roberts. They've been crazy, Julia.
I think that's more insulting to Julia than it is to Amber.
Roberts is a really good actress.
I think Julia Roberts is probably better actress.
So.
Julia, she'd have had tears all. I'd have won that $50. Tears everywhere, but
yeah, if you remember that movie Steel Magnolias, where she's like breaking down.
Oh yeah, Steel Magnolias is a very good one. Yeah. And Pretty Woman. I think Pretty Woman is Julia Roberts' best role, right?
That's like the best role, but
that's the classic role.
I think her best acting role. I think she had better acting as far as
Steel Magnolias.
Difficult. It was a more difficult role to play. I think
it was a very good movie.
Yeah, that's true. Why did Whitney turn her back on Johnny if she was the aggressor? In a fight, you face the one who you are trying to stop and turn your back on the victim. That's I don't know, because I remember in our training when we were in the academy, especially for domestic violence calls, they train you don't turn your back on either one of them. because a lot of times the cop would turn their back and start trying to face the husband if the husband is abusive, and then the wife would jump on your back because she's trying to defend her husband. So they try to tell you to keep both people in front of you so you don't have eventually two people attacking you. So in that situation, it may be tough. But
I'm
in
going
this
to tell you
case,
right now, Nate, as we're doing this stream right now,
Mhm.
trying to break down this whole thing, this is so perfect Nate the lawyer type of material. What we need here, seriously, from you is a video where we have each version, and there's like sort of like an overhead of like which direction people are facing, how far approximately people are from each other, like sort of a visual, so we can sort of see them. I'm recommending to you a video that I really believe can go viral. Okay,
Huh.
and what I'm saying is, each one you sort of break down. Here's Johnny's version, and you basically show different colors from like maybe an overhead perspective, but just like it doesn't have to be them actually. Dark haired, Johnny, or like maybe a little pirate hat for Johnny, and then Travis where he is. We make the bald man Travis, and then you have blonde here for whatever, for Whitney, for Amber, and whatever, and basically an overhead of position and direction they're facing, and just sort of say this is how they're basically laying it out, and then ask yourself what you think really happened. I think this is so the typical Nate the lawyer type of video that his fans have really come to love.
Oh,
And
I'm thinking about it, but maybe I have to try to find an editor. Let me another editor, animator to make it happen. But
Right.
I like that idea. Just here are the positions. Interesting. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that because I have my editor. I'll work on it.
If you're not going
Justice
to,
for
I
Joe,
will.
$5.
I'm giving it to you. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, if you're not going to, I will. But it's so this is your concept that you're doing right now, and it's so your style type of video that I would defer. I would defer to you first.
Oh, I appreciate it. Woohoo! To YouTube. Excuse me. Thank you. And now us three. Thank you. This one's for you, Natalie. Natalie's amazing. That's all I wanted to say. Natalie, you got some viral fans here.
That's nice.
Blackjack Gaming says Court TV confirmed. Yes, we just saw this. Jennifer Howell's deposition will be played. So this is where I'm going to stop because we have some other interesting stuff that we have to get to. So because you guys didn't see the first two, I feel bad, but we're going to go now talk about the second two. The second
the disparity, just so I'm clear in my mind, the disparity between Johnny and Travis is Johnny basically has who's directly in front of him according to Johnny? Whitney.
According to Johnny, it's Whitney. It's directly in front of him.
Right. And Amber's behind. And they're
Amber's
facing
behind.
the staircase. Where's the staircase in relation to
the staircase? He doesn't say, but he says it doesn't say where the staircase is, but he says there's Whitney in the middle. Amber, bop, hits him in the face. Then Travis, then he says he goes downstairs and Travis is down there. And so Travis, but the key moment is that Travis is not between them. And Travis is saying,
how far away is he? How far away is he?
You know, dude, let me just play Johnny's. Let me play what Johnny said, because you were here to hear what Travis said. Let me play what Johnny said again. Because I'm gonna have to literally explain it all back to you. Wait 1 second. So I'm going to play Johnny's. I'm just gonna share it. So this is Johnny Depp again telling us about the incident. And I'm gonna speed it up too because Johnny Depp talks so slow.
You have to play that 1.5.
A lot of people.
When I watched his testimony, I actually watched at 1.5 speed, and he sounded normal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pump him up to 1.5 playback speed. Let's go to 1.75 because he sounds normal at 1.75 too.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
At the top of the stairs, and so the stairs came down, and then there was a landing, and then another set of stairs went down the opposite direction. And this took place on the landing, where she was coming out, trying to get to me, trying to hit me, trying to do anything she could. And then Whitney, her sister, was there, who stepped in the way. And interesting thing now is that Whitney stepped in front of Amber and was facing Amber to stop Amber. And when she was in between us, Amber snuck in. She got the roundhouse in and just nailed me on the cheekbone.
Do you recall what Miss Heard was upset about at this time?
I do not. I really don't.
And was anyone else in the in
I
penthouse
think
5?
he's lying there, by the way.
By that time, Mr. McGivern had been called. I believe that actually, Debbie, as I remember, Debbie Lloyd was at the front door of penthouse 5, standing by the door. Mr. McGivern was kind of at the bottom of the last group of stairs, and then the thump happened, and I got myself out of the situation, and I walked downstairs to Mr. McGivern just to say, let's get out of here, you know. And I remember that something was thrown from up there. I don't recall what it was, but something was thrown at me. It seemed like it was like I don't know if it was a bag of.
Now, McGivern said something was also thrown from the top too. He said the purse was thrown. Remember? So in his testimony, so he does corroborate the fact that things were being thrown at him and all this stuff. So the bodyguard does say this all happened about the stuff being thrown. It's just who was where is with the issue.
Pins but it was from her office area.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 343.
So this is when he goes into the other testimony. So Joe, are you clear now where his testimony differs from Travis's, right? Travis says something different. He's saying something different, but it could just be, you know, it's a hot issue. You know, you're trying to figure it out, that type of thing. So what do you think? Do you think Johnny's being deceptive, or do you think, because those stories don't match?
I don't think I think he's
but
being
do you think it
deceptive.
matters?
If he's saying that he doesn't remember what the fight was about, I have a difficult time believing, because it seems like, you know, a real, you know, this seems like a real fight. You don't just forget what were we fighting about. So I question, that makes me question his credibility on this part of the story.
Really?
I'll tell you right now. I mean, the allegation is that she was mad at him for believing that he cheated on her, and you can understand why that was the root, and that you can understand why it is that he doesn't want to start going down that road about whether or not, because I believe it's possible he did engage in infidelity, and that's something that could just turn the jury against him. So him saying there, I really don't remember, especially because he qualifies it with something saying like, I really don't, or I honestly don't. He said something like that to try and bolster it. And that's he doesn't do that very often, but he did it there. And that's a common way that people who are trying to be deceptive say things. So I think he does know what the fight is about. That doesn't mean he's lying about what happened during the course of the fight. So now I basically have to think that Whitney's facing Amber, and Amber is basically trying to punch him. I'm still curious where they are, what direction they're facing, because if they're on, excuse me, if they're on a landing, excuse me, I'm so sorry. If they're on the landing and there's enough room for 3 people to be standing there, you would think that the wider part of the landing is where they're sort of, you know, they're describing a staircase which circles back around, right? So it goes down and then circles. You sort of have to walk back. When you're walking further down the staircase, you walk in the opposite direction as when you're coming down. So the landing's in the middle there. So when you have, that's wide enough that 3 people can be standing, that's usually not going to be that one of them has a back to a staircase, but that each of them has a back to the walls on the side. And that's where the fight is happening. So assuming that's the case, and that makes more sense, because otherwise, how is Amber reaching so close enough? Is she higher than him and punching down? Is she standing on the steps? Or if all 3 of them are on the landing, that means that none of them are facing the staircase. Any of them could fall down to the side. But basically, what I'm picturing is you come down the staircase, right? I mean, picture it this way: you're walking, let's say, from north to south down the staircase, and then you walk, then you turn towards the west, right? You turn back this way, and then you turn back to the north when you're coming back down the staircase. Is that making sense? I'm just trying to picture this.
No, I think you're true. I don't know. I'm
trying to picture where they're standing. Where they
I understand.
are.
But the thing is that if you're trying to do that, you're going to be even more confused as soon as you hear the next one, right? Because we still got 2 more counts to go. So you're gonna get even more confused. So let's just count.
That's what you're gonna need for your viral video, brother.
That's true. That's true.
You.
So let's slow it back down, and let's just say, okay, what do we know? We know their stories. They're talking about the same things being thrown at Johnny. They're talking about all this same stuff, but the 2 things that are pretty different is the fact is who was standing in the middle when Amber punched, and what happened, like how it all kind of worked out. So those are like really the two issues that we're struggling with here. Let's now switch this. Let's now see what Amber and her sister's version of the event, because those are the other two people who were there and have given testimony under oath. So let me pull up. This is what Amber. So first, we're going to talk about what Amber said under oath. So do you think it's going to be the same as?
I don't think any of the stories are going to match up. I think all four of them had a different.
But this is one thing about eyewitness testimony that a lot of people, I think, don't really understand, is that eyewitness testimony is so, and I'm going to say it's so unreliable. Yep. And if you think about it, we have four pretty intelligent people who are all seeing the same situation differently. And these stories are sometimes in dramatic ways, in drastic ways. So here is what Amber Heard said under oath about the staircase incident. So this is a third account that we've got.
And I said I called him a pussy, and said something about, I'm screaming at him angrily. I at least called him a fucking pussy. I don't know what else I said, but I was screaming at him because he threw this can at me and everything else that had happened. And when I did that, he bolted up the stairs. And, there's only, he was up the first flight of stairs. Again, I'm on the mezzanine, which is in between two flights of stairs. He bolted up the steps. And I don't know. I don't know how he managed to get his hand in my hair so fast, but he had his hand on the back of my head, my hair, and kind of was yanking me down and hit me in the face with this cast he had. I just remember this brief struggle we had before kind of break away. Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I...
Not for lack of trying.
Hit him. Like, actually hit him.
Okay, so now you see her account. Her account is different than all theirs, right? Johnny is running up the stairs now. Sister's back is to the stairs. Now, the problem with her account is that, let's say, these are the stairs and Johnny's running up the stairs and the sister's back is toward the stairs. Well, then that means Johnny has to he's hitting her in the back. So in other words, there's no way he can push her down the stairs, right? He's coming up. She's at the top of the stairs. So he's not pushing her down. He would actually be pushing her forward. Does that make sense?
Yes. And another major difference here is that Whitney, have you gotten to Whitney yet?
No, Whitney's next. We're going to hear her account right next.
Because that's where the biggest difference is for me.
Let's hear her. I really want to hear hers. I want to
right. Now that you've heard Amber's.
Sure. I've heard Amber's, because I think I figured out what happened here.
All right. So now let's hear what Whitney says. So this is the fourth account of the same incident. Oops. Hold on. And StreamYard's got to make this sharing easier, but here it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know they make this thing so difficult. So this is Amber's sister Whitney, And she is about to tell us about, guess what? The stairwell incident. Here we go.
Used up trash bag, whatever. They were saying horrible things to one another. She was calling him old and fat. It was a fight. They were saying really nasty things to one another. I leave them in the kitchen to go up the stairs, was trying to calm Amber down, hopefully get her back into my apartment. And Debbie had come up with me.
And Debbie, who's Debbie?
Debbie was his nurse at the
Debbie
time.
Lloyd?
Yes, I believe that was her name.
Okay.
So we're with Amber on the mezzanine level.
I'm sorry, just so we know who where is. Is it you and Debbie that are with Amber, or is it?
Yes, Debbie, Amber, and I are all in the little mezzanine area. And as I mentioned, the mezzanine overlooks the kitchen and the living room. So
I blew
Ah!
my options account in the span of 2 months.
They're gonna
Yeah.
force me to get ad blocker, Istra.
Johnny then hurls a Red Bull can and it hits Debbie in the back. She didn't even react. She didn't really seem to notice. But I'm standing up there talking, or I'm standing up there, I'm at the top of the stairs with my back to the stairs. And that's when Johnny runs up the stairs. And again, I'm facing Amber. He comes up behind me, strikes me in the back, kind of just somewhere over here. He strikes me in the back. I hear Amber shout, "Don't hit my fucking sister." She smacks him, lands one. And then he grabs, at that point, that's when Travis runs up the stairs after Amber landed one. But by that time, Johnny had already grabbed Amber by the hair with one hand and was whacking her repeatedly in the face with the other as I was standing there. Travis pulls them apart. I get Amber into mine. I close the doors behind me and lock them. I then hear Johnny's voice shouting.
Never mind, withdraw. Okay, sorry.
I hear Johnny's voice shouting, I fucking hate you. I hate you both. You fucking cunts. You fucking whores. And I hear crashing. I hear crashing and banging and smashing. And he starts screaming like an animal.
What do you think about it? What do you think about the story?
You're muted, Joe, if you're talking.
Yeah, Joe. Sorry.
I have so many questions. Was she on coke at this time? Because now you have a guy in a cast who's grabbing her hair and punching. He's got a cast on and he's grabbing her hair, holding her hair with the cast,
punching her in the face
while punching with the other hand.
I just want to say that again, the order of events significantly differs between Whitney and Amber here, and I think that that's significant. So according to Amber, Johnny is wailing on her, and then Whitney comes running to save her and gets in between, and then she thinks Johnny's going to push Whitney down the stairs. According to Whitney, she is comforting Amber at the top of the stairs, because he's you C words, you W words, you this, you that, right? He's yelling and screaming and going off, and he's coming up the stairs and pushes her from behind. And then Amber swings around her and lands one in defense of Whitney. Those are two different things. She's either at the top of the stairs with you, or she comes running to save you, gets in the middle, and Johnny is pushing her down. But according to Whitney, Johnny is pushing her up. And also, there is no, he's beating her and wailing on her, and I come to her defense. There's a verbal altercation. And so according to Whitney, Amber still hits him first. According to Amber, Johnny hits Amber first, and then Whitney comes to her defense, and then Johnny's about to put Whitney on push Whitney down the stairs. Those are very significantly different, and it doesn't matter where Travis is when you have those two differing versions of events.
Yeah. The stories, there are two differences. There are differences between Johnny and the security officer, but then there are differences between Amber and her sister. But I think the differences between Amber and her sister are so dramatic, where it's almost like they're talking about two different events. And even though Johnny misplaces Travis between Travis and Whitney, Amber's story and Whitney's story are Amber essentially didn't say that Johnny hit the sister, right? Amber never saw. She said he looked like he was going to hit her, right?
Right.
Amber's sister said, "Well, she did hit me." Then the second part is Amber didn't talk about. I would suspect Amber would have said, "Yeah, he grabbed my hand, started pounding me in the face." She didn't say that. But then the sister comes on and says he grabbed her hand, started pounding. So it's like I understand stories are
after-
going to be different, but it just doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
After, according to Whitney, he grabs Amber's hair and starts pounding her in the face after he pushes her, after he's coming up the stairs behind her. According to Amber, you have to listen to it again. According to Amber, Johnny is punching her in the face with his casted hand before Whitney gets involved. That's the reason that Whitney gets involved. So they have it flipped. You see what I'm saying? They're saying that Johnny is assaulting either in retaliation for Amber hitting him, or Johnny was already assaultive before Amber hit him, and Amber only hit him not in defense of herself, but only in defense of her sister. That's Amber's version, and those are materially different.
Now, before we get to super chats, we can get to some super chats in a second. I want to play one last thing. On cross-examination, Johnny Depp's team asked Amber Heard's sister Whitney about a woman named Jennifer Howell. So most people should be like, well, who the hell is Jennifer Howell? Well, I'm going to let Amber's sister tell us who Jennifer Howell is. So I have that queued up right here. We're about to listen to it. So we're about to, here it is. StreamYard, thank you for making this so easy. They just, I love them so much. All right.
They need to figure out how to allow you to share multiple screens at once.
Yeah, or just move through. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so again, Amber's sister being asked about who Jennifer Howell is.
She's the founder of the Art of Elysium nonprofit.
She is.
Oh, let me go back.
I do.
You know who Jennifer Howell is, right, Ms. Enriquez?
I do.
She's the founder of the Art of Elysium nonprofit.
She is.
And you worked there for a time, didn't you?
I did.
Around May 2015, you actually moved in with Ms. Howell, right?
May 2015? Yes.
And you moved out of the penthouses because at that point you and your sister were fighting, right?
It was around the time that, he had accused me of leaking stories, and that was the impetus of me leaving.
And you testified earlier, I think, that he had asked you to sign an NDA, right?
At some point.
And that was around the same time that he was concerned you were leaking stories about their wedding to the media?
I believe so.
You and Ms. Howell were close?
We were.
Close enough that you lived with her for around a year?
I don't recall if it was that long.
And you confided in Ms. Howell, right?
About some things, yes. She was my friend.
You called her your chosen
foundation.
They're laying it.
Ms. Enriquez, you claim to have seen signs of injuries on your sister during the course of her relationship with Mr. Depp.
So that was Jennifer Howell. What do you think about? About Johnny Depp's team laying that foundation for Jennifer Howell?
Well done.
So well done.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the significance of it until you came on my stream last night.
But it seems so kind of nonchalant, right? Like, oh, you know who Jennifer Howell is? You did move in, you confided with her. Like they rung all those bells with that foundation, right? It was May 2015. You confided in her. She was like, oh my God, what the hell is it? So for those of you who don't know, Jennifer Howell, Amber's sister, Whitney, told Jennifer Howell what happened that night, right after it happened. And Jennifer Howell gave us a declaration and now is going to be testifying in this trial about what the sister said she said happened right after the event. But before we get to that, because we have that queued up, let us look at some super chats. Natalie, I have to say, you are so incredibly beautiful. And I love that you got them putting that twice. That is the least interesting fact about you. Girl crush moment.
Thank you, Zara.
Boom.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that was a great super chat. Warren says, not that I don't believe Howell, But there are some sour grapes here. Howell runs a charity and was outspoken, being left out of the 7 million no one got. Interesting.
She wants her pledge.
Maybe she wants her pledge.
No donation, but at least pledge me.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be salty about the ACLU didn't get it. No one got
it. Claudia says, "Watch Good Morning America." Owned by Disney. I love how you said that. And their trial coverage is so slanted, it's scary. They seem to want Amber to win rather than show they were wrong in not hiring Johnny, showing snips in support of Amber. I haven't watched Good Morning America, but I can see that. Amber $5 says Amber Heard can remain in the spotlight. Fans only site. I think you mean only fans, which is
I don't know if that gets through on Super Chat. So.
Only fans only. All right, but we know what you're talking about.
That's what I thought it was. I thought they were trying to censor themselves, you know.
New lawyer, 5 months. Yay! From Maryland. Oh, there where you're at. We got 2 Maryland attorneys here. Did I hear correctly on Legal Bites that Natalie practices in Maryland? Yeah.
I absolutely do. Hit me up. NatalieLawyerChick@gmail.com. I love talking to new lawyers. So hit me up.
Thanks for all you guys do. Thank you guys. That was good. So you got some Maryland people coming in. Here goes. Tobin says, "I'm a law student. Glad to know that lawyers exist who are a bit effectual." Thanks, Nat.
Thank you. I think. Thank you.
I know.
It was like processing. I was like, I'll take it.
I know a video. I know of a video called "Objection Hearsay" by Joe. Oh, Joe.
Yeah, it's actually a video that I put together, that my video editor put together, and it's a whole different type of video than anything I've done. Where I really walk through in the backdrop of the Johnny Depp case. I walk through explaining the difference between how one statement, given context, can change from being hearsay or not. I highly recommend those of you who are still confused about it and watching trials. I highly recommend. It's like very easily broken down, so you understand why something could be classified as hearsay and why some things can never be classified as hearsay.
Okay.
Interesting. So, woohoo to Natalie too. Thank who wanted to make sure they got you in the super chat stream. Amber Beer says, "My pledge to the panel." Thank you for the $10, Amber. Thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. Truth Lies Opinion says Whitney is on step facing Amber arguing. Yes, Johnny runs up to help Whitney. Amber pushes past Amber. Amber pushes past Amber. I think it means Whitney. Amber pushes past Whitney to get in front of Johnny. As Travis is getting in front of Johnny, Amber hits Johnny over Travis's shoulder. So Truth Lies and Opinion says this is the story. What do you guys think?
I think it's what Joe was saying, is that people move around, right? And they're all thinking about, where was I when I got physically in the action? It might have not been when the action itself started. So
yeah.
I think it's possible.
So, I'll tell you what I think. Should I give you my assessment as to what I think happened here?
Thanks for $10, money.
After watching all these different things, I think they all saw things throwing. That implies this is what I think happened. I think Amber was in crazy rage over something and throwing things at Johnny. She's on the landing. I think she's on the landing. He's down the mezzanine, and when she throws something at him, I think he storms up towards her, and they are screaming at each other. I think Whitney tries to interject. The nurse, by the way, none of us mentioned the fact that Nurse Liz all of a sudden is thrown into the story by Whitney, which no one else heard of Nurse Liz being anywhere nearby, within striking range of anyone. But also Nurse Liz is there in Whitney's version. I discount that altogether. I'm assuming she's not there. I think that Whitney enters.
Well, hold on. Nurse, what's it? Nurse Debbie or Nurse Debbie. Lloyd? Debbie. She was. Everybody said she was.
All right, Nurse Debbie.
Johnny,
Liz. I meant Nurse Debbie. Right,
because Johnny, well, Nurse Liz, we know Nurse Liz. Shout out to Nurse Liz. But you got.
I'm sorry for bringing you in. I guess that's pretty cool, right? That's like
that's pretty cool, right?
That's like the umbrella guy being mentioned on the stream.
Oh, his tail's gonna blow up. But everybody said she was there. So everybody unanimously says she was there, even though she didn't testify to anything she saw that day. Everybody said she was there. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Okay, but I'm saying is no one else said she was on the landing there. She might have been like in the house, but I don't know that I didn't hear anyone else mention that she was.
No, I don't think
she was involved in the altercation the way Whitney seems to imply. I think Whitney then runs up next, and she's trying to chill Amber out because Amber was freaked out. So I think she's basically gets between Amber and Amber and Johnny, and she's facing Amber, and they're on the landing. I don't think any of them have their backs to the staircase at this point. I think that Amber is sort of in a zone of safety that she's leaning towards. She's close to, because I'm picturing them on that landing, which that landing I'm saying again in that hypothetical I gave is like basically from east to west. So I think the staircase is going down, is going from like south to north. So now. So he comes charging up. She's on the landing there. She probably steps back as he comes charging up. Whitney comes charging up directly behind Johnny. They're screaming at each other. They're barking at each other, and she comes running up to try and chill Amber out. And she's staying between. And there probably was some jostling where Whitney describes her getting hit in the back, getting punched in the back. I don't think he threw a punch at her. I think if anything would probably happen is because he's right-handed, and his right hand is in a cast. So he wouldn't be throwing a punch with a casted hand. So what probably happened is because she actually showed that she like got hit in the back, and she shows this side of herself, which means it would have been his right hand. So what probably happened is as he probably was jostling behind her, and she sort of got like a little jostle forward. And that is what I think set Amber off, that she saw her sister getting jostled. Not that she's getting jostled like towards the down staircase. I think she's getting jostled like facing on the landing, facing towards the wall with Johnny behind her. She gets jostled, and Amber basically reached over her, and while Travis is running up the stairs, I think Amber reaches over and clocks him in the face. That's how I picture this happening.
It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I think your story is the most plausible, but who knows? Who knows?
Right.
And that's the thing with these stories. Who knows? If it was recorded, we'd be watching and be like, it's different than what everybody said. Because I've been in situations where we've talked to 4 different people. They give you 4 different accounts. Then you got a video, and you're like, everybody was wrong. None of this stuff happened like anybody said.
Nobody
Right?
nailed it. Nobody nailed it.
Oh, that is frequently the case in my cases.
I think Travis inserts himself between them because he basically, I think he has a motive also. He's embarrassed that he allowed it to get to that point, and he's not anywhere in defense range. So he has a motive also to sort of insert himself more into the way than he actually was. So
that's fair.
Let me knock down just a couple of more of these before we get to the declaration. So Barryon says, do the people involved being chronic drug users affect their credibility? It can. It all depends on what the jury, because it really depends on how the jury's the judge of your credibility. So if they feel you could be a drug user and they can find you credible, and you could be a drug user, they can find you not credible. It really depends on how you play to the jury. Do you guys have any opinions on this? Can chronic drug users hurt your credibility?
I think that will significantly depend on the juror. Each juror, I think, will weigh the credibility and of memory of a drug affected memory very, very differently depending on their experience with drugs. How taboo they think drug use is. I think that each juror will be very different with how much they'll allow it. Some will say it affects almost nothing, and others will think it affects everything. So that's my gut as to how jurors take it. But I don't know.
That's true, and I also think that it would have been more of this side or that side is drug addled and doesn't remember anything if there wasn't so much evidence of Amber's side using drugs when they try to portray themselves as pretty. Oh, we only do laughy, happy drugs, and we only do cuddle puddles. You guys are taking crack, man. Like you're on coke, it's MDMA. Like I wish they'd had an like this is what like mushrooms. Like, it's just rich people crack. Like that's what you guys are doing all day, every day. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like what are you talking about? And if the jury sees it that way, they could see everyone equally as not credible. Because everyone's high all the time, no matter how much you try to say, oh yeah, I took a bunch of mushroom caps and I felt nothing. I took wine, it had no effect. Amber is just really different. She can do a lot of drugs and it just does nothing to her. Yeah, that's called tolerance from drug addiction. That's what that's called. You've built a tolerance from drug addiction. That means you're taking a lot of drugs, So if they see it that way, if anyone has a little bit of savvy, they'll be like, these guys are all on drugs, so let's just discount that part of it. And then let's see what we believe,
Yeah. Agreed 100%.
Well said, Natalie. Very well said.
let me knock down this super chat. It says there were 5 for White Asian. There was 5 staircase stories. Amber's staircase story changed from the UK depot and the US testimony. Yeah, we saw that because at first, just so everybody understands too, Amber first said she didn't remember hitting Johnny. She didn't remember actually what happened. She just thought her sister was going to be pushed down the stairs. Remember? She said she thought Johnny was going to push her down the stairs. And that's when she hit him to save her sister from being pushed down the stairs. But now we know that
I will
story,
do anything to stand. No one has
Yeah.
pushed has a right, and she's an innocent, and she never did anything wrong to anyone, and that's
That
why
story
she doesn't deserve to be thrown down the stairs.
that story has
Crazy
totally
woman.
I'll
changed.
tell you
That
what,
story
I
has
know
totally
we're belaboring
changed.
this point, but I'll tell you what. When I first saw that deposition,
Mhm.
I would have thought that Whitney was like 12 years old. Your baby sister. It's like they're like 9 months apart. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they're like, I don't want to use the term, but like they're very close in age, like they
Mhm.
barely have any separation between them. My baby sister's being pushed down the stairs and I'm very protective of her. Chews gum. Like, what are you talking about? Insane.
Yeah, but again, I think this goes on because like we were talking about earlier too. We were talking about Dr. Curry and how Amber's fitting right into that to exactly what Dr. Curry said. She's crazy, she's this, she's that. So
Histrionics. That's
yeah,
exactly what, those of you who don't know what history.
Yeah.
Those of you who don't know what histrionics means, it means someone who basically over dramatizes and screams about everything. That's what histrionics is, and that's exactly everything. I think when Curry comes back, she's going to say like what Nate was just leaning into is that we saw histrionics on display. Every time she steps on her dog steps on a bee and the facial expression exploded, all of this is what histrionics is. Histrionics is not a word that most people hear. I heard it as a 3-year-old because my father would talk to me with a college educated type of vocabulary. I lived in a very weird environment in that way. So he would yell at me when I was a little boy, tiny little boy. He would yell at me and say, "Your histrionics better stop persisting with your histrionics." That's I hear that as my father yelling at me every time I hear the word histrionics. But then I realized most people probably never hear that word ever. But that's what it means. It means basically throwing a tantrum over everything. So and that's what we saw on the stand, right? I mean, we saw tons of histrionics.
Oh yeah. Well, let us hold on. Thank you again for this. Let me do this. I want to get I actually have the UK testimony here. So I'll play her telling the story from the UK. Here it is. Because since it's been mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just pull it up. Give me 1 second.
Someone said justice for the bee. Let us all pray for the bee, someone else said. That face you told her, and then my dog stepped on a bee.
My dog stepped on a bee. Yeah, she's crazy. All right, here we go. I found it, and we are about to play it. So this is me and Viva reacting to it, but you guys will be able to see the testimony from the UK. So share screen, because there were 5, but I was being lazy and didn't pull up this one, but now it is here. So let's watch it. So this is her testimony from the UK about the stairs.
You're asking me if I told them.
If you told
that
them on May
he-
21, yes.
Watch the
Again.
blinking. Watch the blinking.
I said to them, I decline to give any statement at this time as
Gonna blink
per
lights.
the advice of my counsel.
Did the
They
police?
did make it.
Oh, sorry. I got to go back. This is the staircase one. This is the May 15th one. So we're looking at that one. Sorry. Let me pull it down
Oh,
on
the super
screen.
chats coming in back then.
Yeah. For that video, me and Viva were going hard at it. We were like, "What's wrong with this one?" Amber versus the cops. Hold on, I put it here. I'm just trying to figure out. No, I can't find it. Sorry. We're gonna have to miss the. You're gonna have to miss that one. Oh, all right. Sorry, I found it again. All right.
There you go.
There it is.
Better than me.
People are gonna be so frustrated that I keep skipping it. All right, here we go. So we are here. Doop, 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 doop. Queued it up. All right. Here it is. Here's the UK story. Sorry, people. Tech issues here. So remember. So we're listening right now to Amber Heard's staircase story, the first version. Let me put it on screen so you guys can see it. And here we go. Play.
This deposition is in the context of which lawsuit?
I love Viva.
UK's.
Up. I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did, but I know I jumped in between the actions that I saw could lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on top of a flight of the stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she does not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs. And it looked like she was about to be. And I would have done what anybody who has a child or a sister would have done. I acted defensively in her life. I saw her standing on top of a flight of stairs and trying to interrupt a fight in between him and I. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her, but I would have done anything. I would have done anything to prevent her from being pushed down a flight of stairs.
She
So what do
should
you
have
guys
gone
think?
with angry in court.
So what do you guys think?
I think she should have gone with the angry. I know this is not really your question, but she should have gone with angry in court. Going with sad and hurt and, I'm crying didn't work for her. This really didn't work for her, but at least it's more believable, right? The fury that's simmering underneath. She's so mean. She seems like such a freaking mean girl. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say it.
But if you notice the differences between, all right, so that was closer to the event, right? That deposition was actually for the divorce. So that was the deposition for the divorce. So in that questioning that she got, there were a couple of things that were dramatically different. Number one, she didn't even say she didn't even know if she hit Johnny, right? I don't remember what I did. I don't remember what happened, right? It was the story is like my memory. I just blanked out and something happened. Now the story is very, very, very surgically, right? Johnny was pulling his fist back about to punch my sister, right? So the story had now become very, very detailed, and it's detailed farther away from the event. So it seems like she's added some context to it to make it more convincing. What do you guys think?
Yeah, she's elaborated her story over the course of 6 years.
She's literally in a completely different position because in the UK thing, she's basically, or whatever, the Daily Mail clip you just showed, she put herself between Johnny and her sister, and nobody else describes it that way. Nobody else describes it that way. So yeah, and I will point out here that there's nobody else but Whitney who claims anything about grabbing the hair and punching Amber in the face over and over again. That is something that is unique to Whitney that no one else has seen. I mean, it's like a crazy embellishment, like to describe him as being like, because the way she just, if we only heard her version and no one else's, you would think, Jesus, what a crazy overreaction that he's having here, that he's punching a woman in the face while holding her hair over and over again. Like you could kill someone that way. And
but she never said that. Even
Amber never said that.
She never said that.
Amber not once ever made that claim that happened in this thing, not in either version here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that it's impossible to believe that anything like that happened. There would have been bloody pulp from the way Whitney's describing it. But
actually, if you go just a little bit earlier in the depo and in her live testimony, she says that he grabs her and hits her, and she adds the cast. It's Amber. Yeah, it's Amber who adds in the trial that she doesn't have in the UK testimony or in the deposition, that he has a cast on his hand and he's hitting her with the cast. She adds that in the trial, but she just changes it's just a little bit before. She says he is hitting her and then her sister jumps in the middle. And Whitney says that he's yelling at her and I'm comforting her at the top of the stairs. He runs up the stairs, pushes me in my back, and then my sister reaches around and lands one on him. So that's she does say, Amber, that he was hitting her beforehand, but it's like reverse from how Whitney said it happened.
Yeah, because Whitney said he did it, pulled it, then after it was pushing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy story, but all right, these super chats are going to get backed up because I have to let's get back to the story. I'm sorry, guys. I'm definitely going to get to these super chats, but we got to get back to the story. So we stopped at Johnny Depp's defense team cross-examining Whitney asking her about Jennifer Howell and laying that foundation, as Natalie said. She said, "Oh, they laid the foundation." So why did they lay all that foundation? Well, I have a clip from Law and Crime because why not let them explain it? Because they are the professionals. So I've got this clip from Law and Crime.
Oh, thank you. Long Crime are really just some guys with some money. They are not the professionals. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're just some guys. There's nothing. They're literally Nate the lawyer.
There's a lot wrong with them.
Nate the lawyer, I think, provides a much better channel than.
It's not even close.
Oh,
it's not even close.
Absolutely not.
I like messing with Law and Crime because eventually they're going to piss me off and we're going to go to war because that's what they do. But we'll see. All right. So Law and Crime, not sponsored here, is going to explain to us. It's going to tell us why it's significant of what we just saw. Whitney being cross-examined about Jennifer Howell.
March 23rd of 2015, when there was this big blow-up fight between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Amber Heard had testified that she saw text messages on Johnny Depp's iPad between him and another woman, and that upset her. She went and woke Whitney up and said, "He's cheating on me." Travis McGivern, the bodyguard, testified that he was called because Johnny Depp wanted to leave. Debbie Lloyd, the nurse, was also there, and there was this incident at the top of the stairs. And Travis McGivern had actually said that, Amber Heard, he was trying to leave, and she punched him in the face to get him to, I guess, fight with her or something to that effect. But that's what Travis McGivern said. Well, Whitney Enriquez tells a totally different story. So let's listen to what Whitney Enriquez told the jury yesterday. We'll discuss on the other side.
So we already heard that. So I'm going to fast forward it to the commentary because we already heard what she said, right? Mm-hmm. She tells a totally different story than Travis. We all agree with that. So now, let me put to the opposite. Here we go.
Stuff about all of that. Now, I think I need to bring this up. Something happened on Cross, and I'm not sure a lot of people took notice, but I tweeted about this immediately yesterday after I heard the name Jennifer Howell. One of Depp's attorneys asked Whitney Enriquez, "Do you know Jennifer Howell?" And she said yes. Well, guess what? Apparently, they were really good friends. And after she moved out of the penthouse, she moved to Jennifer Howell's apartment and stayed with her for a while. Jennifer Howell filed a declaration with the court after the UK testimony and the UK trial of Whitney Enriquez, saying that Whitney Enriquez told her a totally different story about what happened on the staircase. Jennifer Howell wrote in this court document that Whitney Enriquez said that Johnny Depp was hit by Amber Heard, not the other way around. And she said apparently that she feared that Amber Heard would kill Johnny Depp. This is what this Jennifer Howell woman says. So Matt Mangino, my question to you is, do they bring that up? Because that document, that declaration is hearsay, right? So
before we get to this, let me take Law and Crime off my screen. Thank you, Law and Crime, for helping me get this out. But now what I'm going to do, because you guys know me, I like to go deep into the weeds. We're pulling up I have it right here. Oh no, we got the declaration. We pulling up the declaration. We go straight to the source.
Right.
So here is the declaration. Now this declaration was actually filed in this court action, Depp v. Heard. So this is a declaration by Jennifer Howell.
In this case, let's go.
So let's see what Jennifer Howell actually said, right, in her declaration.
Hold on, Nate. So she filed this after Whitney testified?
Before. So this was filed before. Here's her signature on it, Jennifer Howell, and she filed it the 23rd, executed the 26th day of 2020 in Los Angeles, California, under penalty of perjury. So this was filed within the court.
So Whitney knew about this and still testified how she testified?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's see what Jennifer Howell says. So we start on number 4. So you guys ready? Jennifer Howell, here we go. I have learned that Whitney testified in court on July 23rd in London about a violent incident in March 2015 on the stairs at Johnny Depp's penthouse. She testified that Johnny supposedly hit Amber and Whitney on the stairs at Johnny's downstairs penthouse. Now that's exactly what she just said, right? Mm-hmm. That's what she just testified to. In our case, in the case that she's in now. Mm-hmm. Then Whitney said she had to go live with her employer, where she had to go sleep on their floor. She writes the next, I am that employer. This is not what I was told to be true. First, Whitney came to live in the guest room of my apartment on Wilshire Boulevard, not on my floor, but in my guest room. You can tell she got a little salty about that, right? She was like, she not living on a floor. She living in the guest room.
Because it makes her employer seem callous, like, you know,
Yeah,
there's
like-
a little blanket for you, and the corner, there's a corner of the room for you to sleep in over there, and I'll throw a blanket.
Yeah. See, now she goes on. Second, when Whitney arrived, she was a mess. Whitney told me she tried to stop her sister, Amber, from hitting and attacking Johnny on the stairs. Whitney said when she tried to intervene to stop Amber from going after Johnny, Amber nearly pushed Whitney down the stairs. This is what she's going to be testifying to next week on Rebuttal, people. She told me she was worried Amber, quote, was going to kill Johnny. She told me she had endured that kind of abuse her entire life. First from her father, then from Amber, who she said was extremely violent. That's why on cross-examination, they said you confided in her. You said she was like your sister, right? You told her these personal things, setting up the foundation for these statements that was made to her. Next, she says Whitney, lived with me because she did not feel she could go back to live at the Eastern Columbia building. My father reminded me this morning that I told him that Whitney had moved in with me because she was terrified of her sister. That is what she is going to be testifying to.
Wow.
So
What
I
do you
just
think?
thought of something though. So last night when we were talking about this, Nate, I was like, well, we were worried about hearsay. Mike was with us. And it's, it's a prior and consistent statement, but also it's a present sense impression.
Yes.
Right? Because Whitney is relaying it to, what's this lady's name again?
Jennifer Howell, yeah.
Jennifer Howell. Whitney's relaying this to Jennifer Howell while she's still under the stress of the event. Because she said she was a mess. She had just come from Amber and Johnny's house and this crazy thing just happened, right? So the courts, under the rules of evidence, think that's more likely to be true if you're still under the stress of the previous event. But also, it's just inconsistent to what she testified to in court. It's a completely different version of events.
Yes.
To be clear, present sense impression is an exception to hearsay. I think that I think it has to be really close in time, though. I think if she had the time to drive, to call her employer, go over there, drive, and then start telling her the story, I don't know if it's present sense impression anymore. If it's an hour later, I think present sense impression is something. I picture present sense impression to be like Kyle Rittenhouse. 3 minutes after the shooting, he can't reach the cops and he's on the side there and he says something to someone. That's more, he's definitely under the trauma of the moment rather than like an hour after taking an hour drive over to the employer's house. So I don't know if present sense impression would work. I had all these questions about hearsay. Someone claimed to me, I don't remember who it was, that this would be an exception to hearsay because it's adverse interest of because it's party opponent. It's a statement by a party opponent, but that I don't even know who the party opponent is in this situation.
Well,
yeah.
The reason why I would be arguing this should get around hearsay because I'm not bringing it in for the truth of the matter asserted. I'm bringing it in for the impeachment to show the prior inconsistent statement. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if what's actually being said in the statement is true.
Right.
It's just the fact that she said something different at a different time to someone else.
Yeah.
So
prior inconsistent statement I think is the strongest. I just was thinking of another when she said that she was a mess. I'll tell you.
I think it'll work too, though. I'm not saying I think you're prior. I think that does work too because I think Joe.
It's a tougher sell. It's a tougher sell. But I have had in DV cases in particular where the witness is no longer cooperative, but we have video footage and maybe the police arrive, say like a half an hour later or something, and the witness blurts out, "This is what just happened to me." Sometimes judges will let it in, right? Sometimes. Not all the time, but you're right. The further away you get from the event and time, the less likely it's to be a present sense impression.
Yeah.
So
Yes, but I do think for impeaching on prior inconsistent statement, I think that it. But although in this context where it's deposition testimony, the court has been very, very lax about hearsay, and it seems as if they're all like have decided to practically abandon hearsay as an objection altogether. So
don't-
live or deposition?
it's
well, she's
deposition testimony.
she's doing hers by deposition. But Joe, I got to disagree with you because don't forget they resolved all the objections on deposition before the
They seem
deposition.
they seem to have waived it for purposes of showing it to the jury.
Yeah,
So yeah.
So both sides are agreeing to what we're seeing. But I think this would be damning to Whitney's case, to Whitney's thing. I think it makes it really, really like incredibly bad because it essentially makes it seem out to be a liar. Like she's and it could be perjury, to be honest with you. But I don't know if they can prove it, but that's a very damning piece of rebuttal evidence if they're going to be bringing her. Yeah. So but then it eventually comes to what the hell happened on the stairs.
Yeah, we're still left with what the hell actually happened there.
Amber hit Johnny. Amber hit Johnny on the stairs, and other people saw it, and that's what it is. That's what I think happened. Whatever the sequence was, I don't think Johnny hit her. I think Amber hit Johnny, and that's it. I think that's what it was.
No.
All right, well, let's knock down these super chats because people are yelling like, yes, we need justice for Johnny Depp. Truth, lies, and opinions. Remember, Jennifer Howell said Whitney left afraid of Amber Heard, and Amber Heard was going to push her down the stairs, told by Whitney to Howell. Yes, that I think is crazy. Please turn up Joe's volume. I did. Thank you, Christopher. Brianna says, she said JD hit her before Whitney got there, but Whitney said it happened after she got there. Yeah, their stories are very, very inconsistent. This one says, mother with bipolar beats me all the time. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You don't poke the bear that beats you all the time. I call BS on Amber's story. So nobody's believing Amber's story. Well, none of you guys believe it either. So Blind Chick says JD 5'9", Amber Heard 7'7". Anyone able to find the height? If Amber and Travis for perspective of how Amber reaches around and hit Johnny. I'm not sure. I'm assuming Travis may be a little taller, but I'm not sure. I don't know how tall Travis is. Did you see Elaine signal her, then quickly put her finger down? I'm not sure who you're talking about, but were you talking about Whitney? Maybe. Or I'm not sure. Did Amber testify that she would carry Johnny to bed like a child? How can someone she's capable of carrying overwhelm her physically? No, I don't think she said she physically carried him like a baby. I'm thinking she's saying she helped him to the bed. So I understand. Yeah, she's like he's carrying him like She-Hulk, the She-Hulk, right?
Like she's like Superman and he's Lois.
Yeah. The Porsche Lynn said JD's motion to left side of the face. JD's motions to the left side of his face when hit. Jory says he saw him hit. Jory says he saw him hit on the left side. Consistent story, but doesn't scripted. Truthful. I agree because yes, if she's right-handed and he's punching Johnny, that would appear on his left side. Yeah, that would be consistent. That's what you were saying earlier too, right? The right side left face versus left side right face. Yeah,
right.
This is Muffin Country. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Amy. Frank says, so Amber Heard people are trying to call JD people yes men. Of course, yeah. Who want to keep their jobs, but they are all highly employable. But Amber Heard is her people's cash cow. So do you think that's the reason why people are testifying for Amber, because she's the cash cow? I don't know, because I don't think she has that much money.
The cash cow dried up is why they won't come in person. And I'm looking at the timing of these depositions and compared to the timing of when the body camera was made available. Apparently it wasn't always available. I think that's why they won't come to court. I feel like that's why they're finding every reason to be not available. So I don't feel like I feel like they were down for her when there was no extrinsic proof that their stories are not true on the penthouse incident. And then now that there is that video proof, I don't think they back her anymore. So But sure,
Yeah.
at the time that they gave their testimony, was she the cash cow? Because these are all 2021, 2019, 2020, maybe.
Mhm. At that point, yeah, because don't forget she was the Aqua. What is it? I won't say Aqua woman. She was Mira from
Mira.
Aquaman. Mira. This super chat for $10 says there's a reality show clip of Whitney with bruises on her and people asking her, did Amber do this to you? I believe it was 2013, 2016 with clip was made.
Whitney?
Yes, I saw it with Whitney. That was the Sun. The Sun had that clip. I would bring it up, but I got a lot of super chats to get through, so let me continue to move. But yeah, there is a clip like that where they were asking her. Nate, I worked in a trauma ER for 17 years. You get claps for that because I know that must have been hell. I have even seen the one punch to one ring and with one ring can do. A cast is worse. No medical professional would buy this. That's true. If you're number one hand is cast, so he can't grab a hair with the one hand. So he has to grab the hair with the hand that's free, right? Because the cast is you can't grab anything if your hand is cast, right?
Mhm.
So he's got to grab her here with the hand that's free, and that means he's hitting her in the face with the casted hand. That's the only way it can work.
Which, by the way, it's so silly for anyone who's sitting on Team Amber to believe anything about her being punched so many times by a guy who every time is wearing a ring. You want to buy her Amica cream? Buy her Amica cream. You want to buy the ice and swelling? Buy her ice and swelling. Just ask yourself how on earth it's possible for her to be punched. If you heard her telling the story, she had to be punched a minimum of 30 times by a guy wearing rings, and never once got a slice of a scratch. Meaning, forget about the bruising. There would be a scratch on her face, which you cannot cover with Amica cream. You cannot cover it with ice. There would just be bleeding scratch from the ring striking the face. Ask Edward. Look at the poster for the cover for Edward Scissorhands. Ask yourself what happens when you get a slash on your face. That does not just go away. It would be in every picture for days before it would fade away, and that's if she was lucky. So it's impossible that a woman who gets photographed multiple times a day could possibly be abused by a man wearing rings punching her in the face without the public knowing about it. It's not even theoretically possible.
Bree's boyfriend also made a good point, which is, he works in healthcare, and usually these abusers, they don't hit the person in their face, especially if the person has a job or they have to be out in public. They hit them in their body. So it just doesn't make any sense. She has these appearances to do, and so you beat her in her face. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, especially when people, because what's she gonna do? Just hide out for like a month?
Yeah,
to heal up?
do that. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Beer says, they all argue. They all agree she hit him. Is it okay to hit someone in someone else's defense? Amber, yes, you can do that. Amber Heard claims here and in the UK that she was defending her little sister. So you can hit someone in someone else's defense. It's called defense of others, but I don't think that's what was going on here. I just think this was an excuse. $19 from Tiptoe, $20 from Tiptoe says, so what do you think Johnny's attorneys will do with the time they got left, which is much more than Amber's team? Will they recall Whitney and others? So I think they're going to put on a rebuttal case. That's what I'm assuming they're going to do, and I think the rebuttal case is going to be Jennifer Howell, as we've already heard. She's going to be up there. I think you're probably going to have Dr. Curry come on to throw a little bit more shade at Amber. And I think and if the other side runs out of time, then I think you can start putting on maybe Johnny again or somebody again, just because they won't be able to cross-examine them. So you could get a free reign of, or, even though that may be if they can't cross-examine, that opens the door for so much free reign. I don't even know if they'll, is that even allowed? I'm like, well, you could just put on a witness and they can go unchallenged? That'd be crazy.
He'll basically in theory, he'll be able to close out the entire testimony by just going on a soliloquy about all the And the terrible acting, how embarrassed he was watching her on the stand. Can you imagine that? How embarrassed he was? How embarrassed I was the one who gave her her first big break in the Rum Diaries when I see what a terrible job that was on the stand. And actually, he could break down for the jury. Here are all the signs that you know that it's bad acting. When the lips are coming down, he could do the body language thing and just walk the jury through it, and no one could question him on it. And he could talk as a professional actor. Basically, I've done enough of this. I know that you have to learn how to do this, and she never managed to master it. And sadly, I'm embarrassed that I hired her, and you all saw on display here what a terrible job she did. Imagine, and you can't be crossed. It's like that. Well, sorry, time's up. You can't cross. They're so screwed. I mean, Johnny could literally walk the jury through exactly how they should realize that's obvious that everything she said, she tried selling them was just patently a pile of steaming dog crap.
Oh yeah.
Are we gonna hear anything from Kate Moss?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything yet, but
the attorney was so happy about her talking about Kate Moss in the stairs. Either Kate Moss herself or someone else, or I don't know. Like, is that
Kate Moss is where he gave the little fist pump, like he's
yeah. Because do they have a declaration from Kate Moss saying Johnny Depp never pushed me down the stairs? Do they have a depo or something?
It's not just that, but she supposedly still loves Johnny. Like, she'll go raving about what a great guy and perfect boyfriend he was.
Well,
so
hopefully that's true. Hopefully that'll be devastating for Amber. That'd be great if they can get her. Can the plaintiff? Oh, did I? Yeah, I read that one. Can a plaintiff side pay for expenses of travel for a witness? Can a plaintiff side pay for expenses of travel for a witness? Yes. Generally, you do that with expert witnesses. You pay for their travel. You pay for their per diems. Like,
really?
The expert. Yeah.
Really? If you could pay for a witness to fly in
for expert witnesses,
for expert.
For expert witnesses,
but not for anyone else.
For in the District of Columbia, for lay witnesses, the government pays the witness like transportation and stuff to get there if they need to get them to court.
Really?
Yeah, you can cross-examine them on it, but that's not expert witnesses. That's lay witnesses.
Lay witnesses.
Sometimes there's like witness coordinators in my county that might go pick the witness up and stuff, and
we used to do that. We used to do that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do that too for the DA's office. They would, because people couldn't. They would, get them there, maybe give them Metro cards and stuff. Especially in DV cases, a lot. We actually had a Metro card program where we would give the victims of DVs Metro card, because a lot of times the men would be it would be like 50% of the income. So a lot of times they would lose income. So you would have to set them up with a shelter or something so they can supplement that income and transportation costs, because sometimes they'll have to come back and testify. So so it's possible.
Counselors, I've got to bust out of here.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much. Hey, if you guys,
name Nate, I'm gonna have to.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna read through super chats.
Listen, seeing both of you guys.
Thank you guys for spending some time with me. And don't forget to please check these guys out. Their links are going to be in the description. Natalie Lawyer Chick and Joe Good Logic. So I will see you guys on the other side.
Later, brothers.
See you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Natalie.
So then there was one. Let's run through these super chats so I can see what you guys are saying. I'm confused how Amber Heard's team could bring out JD's ex from 30 years ago, but JD's team can't bring out Amber Heard's girlfriend that she was arrested for assaulting. But the problem is that there's a difference between propensity evidence, which is saying because Amber committed domestic violence in the past means she committed it now. And an arrest is very, very prejudicial, because if you heard that she got arrested for DV, it's going to make people more likely to believe that she is an offender. So that's kind of the reason why. But they were able to get in a little bit of that testimony, as we saw. Thank you, Tina Marie, for the super chat. Amber Heard's team might run out of time before Howell. Well, if they do, they're screwed. Here is Mo for $5 US. Does the fact that Amber Heard bloviates when she's asked direct questions and addresses the jury instead of the counsel make her appear obstinate and untruthful? Yes, I believe so, because it's a witness tactic that they teach expert witnesses, is that when you talk, the question comes that you talk to the jury. They teach it to expert witnesses and professional witnesses like cops and stuff. So you'll definitely see that happen all the time. This is, can Amber Heard appeal if JD wins? Yes, she can. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people should recognize, is that defamation cases are appealed all the time. So when you appeal a defamation case, Yes, it's possible, and I'm assuming in this case, you may have an appeal. I would appeal if I was the Amber Heard team, and if you were being sued for defamation, or if you were in Amber Heard's shoes, I think you would do it too. Here's Henninger says the point about Amber's charity not getting the money actually speaks to Amber Heard's motivation for publicity. She pledged only to big name charities instead of the small timer. Yeah, that's true. And I think that's what they were trying to bring out on cross examination. And she was just doing this. She wanted the fame of saying I gave money to Children's Hospital, but didn't actually want to do it. And I think they did it extremely effectively on cross. Camille Vasquez is I was about to say the man, but she's definitely the man of cross examination because she killed it. VA seems to endorse hearsay with the depositions. No, it's just that they both come to the agreement. STFU says, in my humble opinion, the VA depositions loophole violates the Sixth Amendment right. Interesting. That you exposed yourself a little bit there. You got some legal experience with that, huh? You're right though. You're right. It does, but only in a criminal context. See, in a criminal context, you have the right to confront your accusers. Civil context is a little different. So that's where you made the mistake. It would in a criminal. That's why you can't do it in a criminal case. You can only do it in civil. 499 from Avion Park says, that is why Natalie is so pretty. You see that jug of water. You see? Yeah, she definitely. But that's why her skin is so clear. My skin is like, I got to start drinking more water too. Nate, you are the best. Love your commentary. Thank you, Mia. Thank you. I'm running through these super chats. Io testified that he called 911, but one of the calls sounds like Rocky. Can they bring that in? Of course. Any inconsistencies, they can bring it in, but I'm not sure if they're going to bring it in rebuttal because don't forget, it's time game now, right? How much time you got to hit? It's like commando raids, right? You got to go for the big targets and kind of leave everything else. Something like that may be good, but it may not be enough to convince anybody. So they may drop it and just move on because again, you don't want to overload the jury with stuff. You want to get them the most important things that's going to help your case and then move on. That's what I think they're going to do. Natalie, what if anything should SC reaction to Camille versus AH? She's just left, but if she was here, I would answer that question. I'm so sorry. Thank you, American Savage, for the $5. Roland says, seeing a gallon jug, more half-gallon jugs of milk used according to Walmart. Didn't know that. We are in a definite downturn of the economy. Prepare accordingly. Good luck. Hey, we all are. This is Shannon Mills says, I feel that everyone involved has an emotional connection to the story except for Travis. So I feel his story is the closest to the truth. I'm agreeing with you. When you are in an emotional mess, it is hard to recall the facts, and that is a fact in itself. You're preaching to the choir, sister. Hagatha says, women always bring up past wrongs. Amber is never recorded saying, what about when you punched me, pulled my hair out? She is lying. Beautiful. That is a perfect. I think your rationalization of that is perfect. I agree. We never hear her saying that. We only hear Johnny saying that. I disagree, Joe. I believe JD had his back to the stairs. Amber faced him. Whit ran up to stop the fight. Amber then swung at JD. At that time, Amber's excuse was to save Whit. Then Travis ran up to get JD out. Yeah, that sounds very plausible, Rowan. I think you're right. Thanks for the $10. I think you're right. I think your story is better than Joe's story. 2 jurors are over 55. T perjured against drugs. Sorry, I'm not sure. Who's T? T perjured against drugs. You gotta expound upon that. But sorry about that. I'm not sure who T is. Liking the Captain America shields. Thank you. The top one is my daughter's, and this one is mine for my background. So my daughter, she's like, I got one too. So she wants to put it up there so all you guys can see that women can be Captain America too. Promise, it's a compliment. I personally wear my heart on my sleeve, but I don't want to seem otherwise. My bad. No worries. Be you. Impending colonoscopy, Natalie. Thanks. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah, but I've had a couple too, and that's no fun. I always ask the doctor if I can have a cigarette afterwards because this is not going well. Colonoscopy. But that's what happens when you make it over 40, you get colonoscopies. Ryan says, any chance that AH countersuit being dismissed? Yes. I don't think there's any hopes that it's called a motion to strike, but I think they're going to strike it. I don't think it's going to go forward. There is no evidence in the case that Adam Walderman's statements were made on behalf of Johnny. Is that correct? Yes. And without that evidence, her claims should properly be dismissed. Essentially, yes. Her counterclaims, I think, are not long for this world. Romania says, the agreed upon outcome is that JD got punched. So if it was a woman who had received the punch, would we be quibbling so much about the preceding activities? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I've been saying this for years. If the genders on this thing was reversed, we wouldn't really be talking. Like there would be nothing to talk about, right? If Johnny was a woman and Amber was a man, this case would have been done long time ago. But it's to the fact that he is a woman. Said that he's a man. That's where we get the problem. STFU says, Nate the lawyer, that was SC was supposed to say 2 of the jurors are over 55 and are prejudiced. I'm assuming prejudiced against drug use. Yes. That makes sense. Sorry about that. JD could have been trying to move Whitney out of the way of Amber Heard's wrath, but with the cast was clumsy. AH yells, "Don't punch!" Whitney mistakes action. Possibly, but I think Whitney's lying at this point in time, though. Blind chick, Travis. I think Whitney's just lying at this time, to be honest with you. I don't think she's telling the truth. Your story sounds convincing, but I just think she's making it up because she's actually told a different story. So that's what get me to I don't believe anything she's saying. I'm about 30 minutes behind, so sorry if you may have said this, but Travis is the only person who isn't emotionally involved. He is doing his job, so I believe Travis would have a better memory because of his job. Yes, great point, Michael. Great point. And I'm agreeing with you. It seems like everybody here is more pro Travis and think Travis is probably going to have the best recollection of events. Horror King says her face after the beat thing was realizing she gave an unnecessary detail and she knew it came across as a lie. She cringed herself. It is. You're probably so right about that. You're probably so right that she cringed herself. William Campbell says lying under oath under British system, also used in Australia and Canada, is a really bad thing, and it does not matter if it is in a civil case. But one thing, though, from what I'm seeing and everything that I'm reading, it seems like the British officials, they found that she perjured herself in court. What they're going to do is expel her from the country, saying that she can't ever come to the country. Now, one thing about also the perjury issue in England that I thought was interesting was that the perjury is not for any of the abuse allegations. It's for very specific allegations. So let me explain it to you guys what the perjury allegation is about. The perjury allegation, particular, is about the judge in the UK case made his ruling, and during that ruling, he said to some effect that Amber had no motivation to lie. And as proof of the no motivation to lie, she gave away all this money to charity. So what's her motivation to lie? So that was part of his analysis, that she had no motive to lie, she was being truthful, and Johnny was the abuser. But and that was because she testified not that she pledged to donate the money, but that she actually donated the money. So the judge accepted that she had actually given the money away. Now they're investigating her, saying, well, if she actually didn't donate the money, then that was a lie, and that lie influenced the judge's decision in a negative way. But now how the courts deal with it, I don't know. But that's what the investigation is about. It's about literally the difference between the word I pledged and the word I donated. So she kind of screwed herself with that one. Mon Perez says, I love y'all. And this dang trial is bringing up a lot of triggers. I am so sorry to hear that. But it does. I know other people have been telling me this too. So I'm 65. I identify with Whitney and Johnny. I had a sister like Amber Heard. I am also a survivor. My partner suffered 33 years of DA. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully you've healed, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. But it's horrible. And the fact of the matter is that I always wonder how people who have experienced these DV incidents, how this experience not only triggers them, but the fact that it seems like she's obviously lying, how that affects their story too. Because a lot of times, it's like, are people believed? And I think that is what hurts, right? It's because, someone just lying and using it to their advantage to win a divorce claim, it's or to help their career. It hurts all victims. Just like Justice Smollett, right? I think Amber Heard is it's almost at the Justice Smollett level, if not already there already. Did you guys hear about Amber Heard trolling TikTok people by wearing bee earrings the day she dressed like Dr. Evil? No, I didn't hear that. That's funny. that'd be awesome. Now that would be awesome. I think I would do something like that. I would maybe come dressed like a bee. So yeah, I stepped on a bee. Johnny Depp is right-handed and apparently throws a can up the stairs using his left hand. I can't see this happening. Yeah. We did so much. You just that. What? You got the whole trial. It's crazy. Amber Heard has so many contradictions. Oh my God, you don't know. She's supporting cast mostly testifying based on hearsay. Hearsay, not hearsay, but well, it is hearsay, but hearsay. Their testimonies are the fruit from the poisonous tree. Great stream, guys. Thank you, Hazy. Hosey. Thank you. STFU says Amber Heard not mean. The word is mercenary. She's a user. She uses people, drugs, situations, laws. She need to use to get what she wants. Classic narcissist. Yes, I think she's a classic narcissist. There's nothing there I disagree with. Johnny Turnbull says, facial tics from chronic cocaine use. Right. In most cases, it will come off like the person has Tourette's when stressed. My dog stepped on a bee, followed by the facial and body tic, just like someone with Tourette's. Interesting. See, I never knew that about people with Tourette's. I thought Tourette's was just like you shout things out, but this is interesting. See, I'm learning stuff every day. Retainer plus first month. Funny, Adam. $2. What's it? Wilshire pronounced like no yanker. Wilshire. I put Wilshire. Thank you, Royce, for the $2 super chat. If it's offered for impeachment, it's not hearsay. Yes, we went over that. Nate, long story short, the UK judge had to intervene because Amber Heard was intimidating Whit during her testimony. Whit is a victim of Amber Heard. Love all you guys. Yeah, I think that's clear. I think Whitney's definitely Whitney's a victim here too. And it's sad because Amber has this domestic abuse power over Whitney. She has it over Johnny. She has all of this, and all these people are afraid. But let's not forget, Johnny's gone. Whitney only has Amber, right? That's her sister forever. So she's doing what she's got to do to survive, and that's trying to back Whitney. I mean, just trying to back Amber, which is crazy. Truth, lies, and opinions. Amber Heard's credibility, none. You know where I'm at. Just watch my last video. That's about this. I'm a survivor. Would never yell "S my D," right? Or stop him from going. Men get abused. Saw it as a medic. Don't just believe all women. It's unjust, not fair, unreasonable. I love watching. Thank you, Truth and Opinion. And I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear about your experience. But thanks for the $10. But yes, I also think that you are being 100% factual. Generally, the other day I was arguing with Joe about this, and we were talking, and no, it was Joe and Potentially Criminal. And they were saying they never saw someone who was a victim of domestic violence act this way. And I said, yes, I agree with that part, but I have seen people in domestic violence situations act this way, and generally they are abusers. usually it's the abuser who does what Amber's doing. SMID, yelling, screaming, throwing things. Those are the abusers. So if again, like I said, if you just change the story where Amber's the male and Johnny's the female, it all falls into place. But I think we're struggling, and I think the public is struggling with this, is because the genders are reversed. The genders are just reversed. Thanks again for the super chat, Truth Lies. William says, the only thing I know about the law is you get in trouble if you break it. Amen to that. Thank you, STFU. JD confronted Amber Heard about cheating, and Amber Heard hit him. No, I think it was the other way. I think Amber Heard confronted Johnny, and then that's when you get the punch in the face. Isn't there text message associated with Jennifer's claims? I believe there are. S on polarizing criminal cases, Arbery, Rittenhouse, etc. Explain. I think you're talking about explain on polarizing political cases. All cases are let me see, on polarizing criminal cases. Well, I'll just let you know. My nickname is like the Loracle or whatever. But for like maybe about a year and a half, I had like this crazy streak going where I got every single case right. So I called the cases that I called right: Arbery, Floyd, Rittenhouse. I called them all right, like for a year and a half. When people wanted to know who was going to win the case, they came to this channel, and I had a video up. This is who's going to win. So that was that was a great streak. It was crazy. It was crazy. But sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. This case, I think Johnny's going to win on at least one claim. I think he's got it. What do all y'all think about? What do you all think of the judge's speech yesterday afternoon to the parties about social media posting? Love Law Tube. I think the judge is trying to keep everything in the courtrooom, right? Win this case, and then you can go out and talk. So that's what I think about it. The judge is not stupid. She sees what's going on. She sees everybody giving statements. She just wants to rein it all in. Why is Whitney not the subject of recall back on the stand? She may be. You just don't know. No, she was not. She's not. They let her go because I think they have Jennifer Howell coming in, right? So they not Whitney. You can go. We're not going to recall you. So go. She can never come back. You have Jennifer Howell come, destroy her credibility. Now she can't come back and say what she didn't say, right? And she's done. So that's why I think the strategy on that. I think it was bad strategy on Amber Heard's team because obviously she may be subject to recall. But Amber Heard's team also ran out of time. So they may not be able to recall her back. They may just not have enough time to call her back. So I think that's where we're at now. Joe, you did tell Nate about the NYC strip off between you and Legal Mindset. He didn't tell me, but I'm going to ask him now since you mentioned it. Pat says, I'm trying to think like a juror. Have to look at these people as not notorious or regular people. We can get so judgmental as we know them by their movie roles and not really. Love their acting, but really don't know them. And Pat, I've been saying this a lot. You're right. If somebody comes into your living room and performs for you, you feel like you have a connection with that person, but you really don't know them. And now we're getting to know them. And that's what, I don't know if you heard that saying, don't meet your heroes. And I think that's what this super chat is getting to. We're meeting our hero, or Amber Heard for some people, and Johnny Depp, and they're not who we thought they were. This super chat, thanks for 499, says she said she kept a bruise kit. A bruise kit is theater makeup to create bruises. Yes, I think that was a slip up, but I don't think the jury, unless you're in theater, you wouldn't know that. Maybe somebody on the jury is, but we just don't know. Elaine was squirming, moving an awful lot on that clip when the cross started, asking Whitney about Howell, like she was trying to object somehow. Maybe, but I don't know. Elaine has just been outclassed. I'm just going to say it, people. Johnny Depp's team has been destroying Amber's team. Amber needs to get some better. Amber needs to get some better lawyers because they've been destroyed. Amber Heard's lawyers have been destroyed. I don't know. This is a defamation case and they get destroyed. Anonymous Owl says, why would she photograph barely visible bruises and then not being wailed on by a cast and rings, cut up feet, and bottled in your blank? Yes, but for $10, thanks for the $10. That's the $1 million question for all of us, right? Why the hell wouldn't you take pictures of all these other bruises that you claim to have, but then the light bruises that are questionable, you're taking pictures and documenting them like this is a documentary? I just don't know. Here's another one from Athezilla. Amber Heard had no ring imprints or cuts on her face. No hematoma. You guys are testing me out with these medical words. No hematoma or major swelling. Compare her face to Rihanna's face after Chris Brown's domestic abuse. Yes. But again, I think Amber Heard is making a lot of this up. That's why she has nothing to corroborate it because they're all made up. $20, $19.99. Could Amber Heard's testimony about W being afraid of A open any door to the reality show footage? Possibly. It possibly could. I just don't know. That's a very good question. I have to think about that. Thank you for the $20. That's a damn good question. It could. Now you got me thinking. Suggestion: LawTube Live on tour coming to a city near you. Oh, I'll ask the guys about it. We all head to California for Legal Bites wedding, so that might be our first stop. Court directed time limit or not? Doesn't an inability to cross a witness violate constitutional rights? Only. All right. That is for criminal. For criminal. We're talking about civil trials. Criminal trials, you have a right to confront your accuser. Civil trials, not so much. A lot of those rights to an attorney, that works for criminal, not for civil. So it's possible you do have the right to confront your accusers, but that's when they're trying to take your life. But when that not in this case. Isn't there an entire argument for hearsay? Yes. That's the entire argument for hearsay. It's the confrontation clause you're talking about. But again, civil. This is a civil trial. Thank you for the $2, Peggy. Amber's crazy laugh taunts me. Would still smash DOE. You like the crazy, huh? Amber Heard's is a potty woman. She is constipated. Oof. Well, we saw what happened with the bed, right? This is just announced. Jennifer Howell will testify in rebuttal now. Is this allowed if she's been posting on Instagram and could be watching the trial? Well, if you don't know you're going to be a witness, you can do whatever you want. But if they're calling you in a rebuttal, it should be, right? If you are on a witness list. Nate and Eric for the win. Yes, it's Eric Hundley. Don't forget to check out the channel Nate and Eric. We do reviews, and we're going to be doing a review of this same situation. I think my editor's cutting it up. My editor's going to be cutting it up, and we should have it out hopefully by the end of today or tomorrow. So check it out for that channel Nate and Eric. Camille, the Thunder Goddess. Get it right, Nate. Thank you, and thanks to my friend Eric Hundley. Thank you so much, Eric. I can't unsee Elaine Barkin. Yes, I can't unsee that either. On the swelling question, when she got pressed, she said ice can fix swelling, as if she had found this info on Google. She did not say I used ice. Looks made up. Very good. You guys catch everything. But yeah, I remember her saying that. And I was thinking that too. I was like, you're right. Camille's a boss. Camille. Oh my God. Camille is amazing. Yes. If someone makes a defaming statement about someone, they'll retract it before the lawsuit. Can said person still be taken to court? Yes, but the retraction definitely hurts it because in some jurisdictions, if you retract it within a certain amount of time, that kills the defamation claim. But again, it's jurisdiction by jurisdiction. So some jurisdiction has, I forgot the term of art for it, where if you retract the statement and you usually you make a correction for the newspaper and make a big enough correction where everybody, and the correction has to be as big as the statement. So if you go on YouTube in front of 1 million people and make a defamatory statement and then just make a community post saying, hey, I made a mistake, that's not enough. You have to go back and say, yes, I made this mistake. So it really depends on how you do it, but yes, you can. I wouldn't believe Amber Heard if her tongue was notarized. Let me run through. So boy, you guys are killing me with super chats. Here we go. You guys are gonna run me to my time limit here. I'm trying to get to you all, but if I don't make it, please forgive me. But I'm trying to get to you all. Generally wonder if the B thing was her accidentally verbalizing a thought she was using to try to cry. My dog stepped on a bee. I don't know. Something she worked on in acting lessons, possibly. But I think you would try something else though. That's all stepped on a bee. My hubby had the same injury on his hand as JD. Oh, cut off tip of the finger. No way he could have hit anything with that hand. Yeah. Donation, not pledging. Nice. I'm donating, not pledging. That's right. Jesse for $10 says, thanks for the shout out, brother. We all lose in court once in a while. I'm gonna tell Amber not to beat herself up over it. I like you. I like what you did there. I like what you did there. New Yorker equals it with NYC accent. Whatever. Mondays, new witness, Amber, other sister, Jodi Arias. You guys got jokes now, huh? Here we go. This is Mystical Wolf. Are you allowed to give info of what the jury's age or ethnicity is? Yes. You can't tell who they are or where they live, but you can say there are X amount of black jurors. But you hear it in every trial. The DCV Titan says two things. One, is it just me or did Turd say I won't remember in a Depo tape? I think she did say that. Number two, difference between a pledge and donation. A pledge isn't tax deductible. A pledge isn't given money. You're right, though. A pledge isn't tax deductible. This is Tatted Cat says, hi, Nate. Thank you so much for providing insightful and detailed overview. And the rest of the crew in LawTube, sending positive vibes from Boston. Thank you. And that's where actually Johnny Depp's team is. They're from Boston. It's crazy. Thanks for the super chat. $30. Thank you. I saw my father hit my mother multiple times. He always made sure to hit her in the body, not the face. He was lovely to everyone, which is why no one believed us when we all left him. I get triggered by Amber's voice. It sounds like him. It's interesting because my mom was abused by my father before he passed away. And I remember the same experiences. But you're right, though. You're right. And a lot of times people didn't believe because they didn't see. But then eventually, when she did have the strength to file the police report, she had, she showed the bruises and it was a game changer after that. So yeah, it's always tough. It's always tough. But I think with Amber though, it's she was trying to go that route. Remember, she was like, he hit me in the body, the knee in the back, and then we saw the picture, the back was dressed, and he did this. So, and again, one of the differences with Amber's story, which I think makes it so different than the normal stories of DV, is that Amber is saying she was repeatedly punched with rings in the face in vicious assaults, dragged over glass, beat like a pope. And the next day, you see her flush, you see her face, you see her back, you see everything, and there's no injuries. Either she is Wolverine or something ain't right. So that's all I can say about Amber Heard. And again, thank you for sharing your experiences. And I'm sorry that happened to you. The world we live in. There's a German saying, I forgot what it said, but essentially it says man is a wolf to man. And we are worse to each other than anyone else. Family, right? Family. She said security carried Johnny. Yes, she did. She got skin like BJ Penn. I'm not sure who BJ Penn is. Brandon says, is her claim she took those pics and held onto them for years until the op-ed? Seems a bit sus. That seems like what she's saying. Thanks for the $5. And yeah, that's essentially what she's saying. Here we go from Galabai 3000. Amber Heard has already tried to throw her law team under the bus about the pictures. Yeah, remember she said they released them. I think she will blame them when she loses. Of course she's going to blame them when she loses. She's blaming them when she loses. STFU says apparently what Whitney told Jennifer, JD came with W carrying over a cheating on him. And I'm assuming this is Amber crying over Amber cheating on him. And Amber attacked him unprovoked. W, which is Whitney, was worried Amber would kill him. Got it. Oof, you making me decipher stuff now. Rexy says, the women too can be an abuser. Yes, but people don't want to accept it. Do you think this litigation can open the door so that people can finally accept that? Yes, I think that's what this litigation is about. People not accepting that a woman can be the abuser. Ian says, what does it look like when Johnny's team has more than 10 hours more left than Amber's team at the end like this? You know what it means? It means they're in some serious trouble. That's what it means. Thanks, Ann, for the super sticker. Thank you for the thanks for 199. 2.3 billion views on TikTok. Hashtag Amber Turd. Wow. That's a lot of some of those views are mine because I've been watching this crazy. And this is the last super chat before we get out of here. There is something very odd about the way Amber Heard sticks her face out and moves it during her deposition trial. I think Amber and her crew of leeches enjoyed winding Johnny up and took advantage of him. Yeah, I'm coming to that same conclusion. I think you're totally right. I think Amber knew. And again, this is just my opinion. I have no insight. I think she knew what she was doing, and I think that Amber wanted to. She saw the writing on the wall that he was going to leave. So what did she do? She started planning the stuff, taking pictures, planting stuff, trying to do whatever it takes to get a better divorce settlement. And when she got the divorce settlement, she saw the press was saying she's a gold digger. So she comes up with the story. I'm giving it away to charity, right? And doesn't give any of it to charity and thinks people are just going to forget. And then wrote this op-ed. And I believe right in the op-ed got her into this mess. Now she's kind of in it. If she doesn't write the op-ed, we're not talking about any of this, right? We're not talking about her not giving the money to charity. We wouldn't have known. But because she wrote that op-ed, now we know. So yeah, I don't believe Amber at all. I said that was the last super chat, but then I got two more coming in. My favorite MAGA lawyer. MAGA lawyer. Can't wait for the close. They're going to destroy Heard. And I can't wait to watch. Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch. And thank you, Matt, for the 199. BJ Penn is an MMA fighter. Leaves matches unscathed. Oh. Well, listen, guys, thank you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. We did a deep dive onto the various stories of the staircase incident. And at the end of the day, it's kind of what you believe. Do you believe Amber? Do you believe Johnny? At this point in time, I think we can make a very credible argument that Johnny is probably telling you, Johnny and his teams just seem more credible to me. I can't speak about anyone else, but their stories just seem to align. And I think people are right when they're talking about the security guard, even though he's being paid by Johnny, he just kind of seems like this is what I do. He's talking about it not from the emotional point of view, but from a point of view, this is what I do and this is what I saw. I think Amber changing her story makes her not credible. Johnny's story doesn't seem to kind of line up with everyone else is saying, because everybody else is saying, well, Johnny's story kind of doesn't line up, and neither does Whitney's. But I think at the end of the day, I'll believe Johnny's side more than Amber's side, because it just seems like the facts kind of line up a little better with theirs. But again, it is what it is. And the reason why I'm going to dismiss Whitney is because if this woman, Jennifer Howell, comes to the stand, it just makes it seem even more like a liar. But again, it all depends on what you think. My name is Nate the Lawyer. Don't forget to check out Nate and Eric, the channel. I'm going to link it in the description. Also, don't forget to check out Natalie Lawyer Chick and Joe Nearman, who are going to be I'm going to put them in the title of the video and in the description. So please don't forget, at least check them out, click their links, and please follow them. With that said, we're going to have a more condensed version of this video coming out later. And my name is Nate the Lawyer. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend if I don't see you guys until Monday. And I'm out of here. Peace. End broadcast.